Welcome back. We're here again.
Good morning.
Plenty of games. Highlander open here for April now.
April.
Ian
Event
and
number 3.
Yeah, number 3 for the year. Ian and Kira along to start the day. But we've got Alex back. And also we're bringing in Sahar.
Ooh.
So there's going to be a whole bunch of us today, which is very exciting. This is April, of course, but more events coming up as well. We just are announcing today, May 16. We're taking June off, but we'll be back right at the start of July 4th, and then August 22nd. So for those dates in your calendar.
Yes, indeed. There is so much fun stuff coming up. A reminder that the winner of each Open Series events receives an invite to the end-of-year Tournament Royale.
Yeah,
and we've got our
absolutely.
standings.
We do. So, as I said, 2 events in. Will Lamarca, Elliot Lyon won our 2 events. So they have already booked their ticket to the end-of-year event. Nathan Smale there, always a bridesmaid, just putting up solid results, couple top 8s. He's actually leading our leaderboard. And then a few other names you recognize, Simon Walters, Kieran, Michael Billinghurst is always here, Matt Brooks. Richard Owen was our points leader last year.
Yes, he was.
He's been around a bit. I saw him today. He's back on Storm.
Oh.
They keep pointing Storm. And Richard says, bet.
I've decided that what we need to do is point Richard.
Absolutely, yeah. Richard's only allowed to play 6-point decks from now on. Absolutely. So a lot of really good players in here today. And it's very exciting. It's exciting to be back. We haven't actually had a points update.
No, we haven't. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Our last event was only a week or 2 after the last points update. When we saw Enlightened Tutor go to 0, we saw Bolster Citadel go up, and we saw Uro go down to 1 as well. So I feel like players hadn't quite worked it out yet. There's a lot of Enlightened Tutor in the room today, I will say. There's a couple Breach decks. We're going to see an Oath deck to start.
Oh, okay. Oath of Druids.
Graham is playing Oath of Druids. Our players are just shuffling up or jump down. So Graham King, a regular both in the booth and in our tournaments as well, but we have had him on coverage a couple times. He's playing Oath of Druids, which is very exciting. Enlightened Tutor just adding a bit of consistency to that deck. And then Tom on the bottom is playing Esper.
Alrighty, we're getting ready to go. We've gotten word from our table that Graham is on the play this time around.
Which I expect this will be a longer
game,
I would say. Both decks, Esper not generally super aggressive. There's actually a lot of ways you can build Esper in different ways, but this variant is not super aggressive. And then this Oath deck is very much a control deck at heart. It obviously has Enlightened Tutor. It has things like, there's a Demonic Tutor as well to find Oath, to be able to set that up. But outside of that, there's some huge creatures to put in with Oath. And then it's mostly just control cards. It's interaction, there's a couple of sweepers, there's removal, there's a lot of different card advantage and counter spells. But it is kind of a control deck.
Now, for someone as uneducated as myself, what is an Oath of Druids deck like?
So Oath of Druids, we will bring that one up for you. This is a very old enchantment from way back when. So you can see it's got quite a number of words on it.
Wow, that is actually so many more words than I was expecting.
Yeah, so to give you the shortened version, the Spark Notes, if I put this in play, actually, if it's in play for both of us, and my upkeep, if you have more creatures than I do, I get to mill until I hit a creature and put it in play.
Oh.
And then on your upkeep, if I have more creatures than you also get to do that. See, it's symmetrical. It's
not... Yeah, what could possibly go wrong with something like this?
The thing about that is that Graham's only creatures all cost at least 7, but maybe 15 mana.
Oh, I did see an Ember Cooler.
Yeah, and these decks often have ways to give your opponents creatures. So you can force them to say, no, have a creature.
Oh, very good. Well, this is going to be very, very fun. What is this matchup like? What is this kind of... What is the rough kind of disparity here? Kind of who's favored in this matchup?
It's really interesting. And as I say, I think this will be quite slow. It's an interesting back and forth because Graham's deck is really built around this one enchantment. Like he has to put this enchantment in play or he can't do very much. Like his deck can't really win the game. We're not hard casting Emrakul, you know?
100%.
So that means that there's going to be a lot of posturing, a lot of back and forth until Graham says, I think I can put this enchantment in play. And both decks are full of counterspells. They're full of disruption. But it's also interesting because for Tom, he feels like he should probably be trying to pressure. But if you put a creature in play, you are risking Graham just putting an Oath back in play and saying, well, I'm going to put a bigger creature in play.
It does feel like a situation, because Oath of Druids is such a powerful effect at 2 mana.
Yes.
It feels like at any point, we're already at the point where we've got, 3 lands in play, 2 lands in play. We're already at the point where, I can just do it.
And I mean, we see so far both players just casting cantrips, trying to sculpt their hand. Tom knows most of his removal's not very good against Graham, for example. Whereas, interestingly, the Esper decks, as opposed to a lot of the Grixis decks that we have seen, sort of as the other premier blue mid-range decks, I'd say, Esper has interaction for Oath. It has prismatic ending. It sometimes has leyline binding. It has a couple disenchant effects. Whereas for Grixis, once that Oath is in play, it's staying in play.
Yeah. And this is it from among the milled cards, or is it
No, it's until you hit the first one you hit.
Ah, the first one that you hit. Okay.
But they're all good hits.
Yeah.
So, as we see here, so some posturing back and forth, we fetch land, dismember into the graveyard, because Graham knows that Tom probably not going to pressure that much. And we see the power of the Surveil lands here as well.
Oh, yeah. Chuck a Dismember away.
Yep.
Don't have to worry about it.
Yep.
Fetching a Scalding Tarn.
I believe that's Graham on the bottom. It's hard to tell so far because both players have just played fetch lands, blue lands, and cantrips, and a Dismember. Like, this could be either player. That actually might be Tom on the bottom now I think about it with Meticulous
We didn't ask Tom to sit on the bottom.
We did, and then I honestly panicked and thought they were the other way around. So we're going to keep guessing until we see a green land, basically, from one of these players.
If only in my heart of hearts I could remember what kind of basics either player prefers.
I don't think either player is going to fetch basics.
Oh, true. Oh, that's a Tundra.
It's really just whether... Well, we'll see. This is a creature. Okay, so that is definitely Tom on the bottom.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, Oath of Druids doesn't normally play 2-drops that you might Oath into. Oath of Druids isn't great when you're just cheating out 2-drops. Relic of Progenitors? It's a nice piece of graveyard head. There's a lot of graveyard interaction in this format. Even the Oath deck uses its graveyard to some extent. But the other thing is these Esper decks all play catch removes.
Does Relic interact favorably with Oath of Druids?
It doesn't stop the thing from coming in play.
It doesn't catch it.
Yeah, no. It does not stop that. Ledger Shredder is also a nice piece of pressure that will also filter. Try and shape Tom's hand there, gets a discard. There are a lot of cards that are just dead against these hard control decks. Like Fatal Push doesn't do anything, for example. So if you get to discard that to a Ledger Shredder, it's basically like drawing a card.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And this is sort of the interesting point where Tom has tapped out. He's put a creature in play. It really strongly suggests that he has at least one force in hand, I would say. Because otherwise you wouldn't do this.
Graham as well not fetching a green source off of the Mysterian Forest.
Yep. Chooses to get a Surveil, get another look, leaves it on top, which is terrifying if you're Tom. It's also possible Tom doesn't know what Graham is playing. Graham plays a lot of different decks. He's probably best known for playing Walks, to be honest, but this is clearly not a Walks deck. And it is closed deck list. So we have access to the deck list, but Tom may not know what's about to happen.
Is there any instance when your opponent surveils that you are not stressed if they keep on top?
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Would you like this card or a random other card? This one. Oh boy.
I suppose the only instance is in current standard where your opponent surveils like Deceit or Doomsday Excruciator into the bin and they're playing Reanimator and you go,
That's worse.
That's what I'm saying. That's an
is
instance
worse,
where like you'd actually prefer that your Reanimator opponent keep it on top.
No, but if they keep on top, then you assume they found something good to like find the reanimation or something. Like bad either way. Yeah, some of the turn one Surveil lands that have been a reanimation card, or there's a couple Underworld Breach decks in the room when you mill one of your Breach combo cards, and it feels like you just got to play an Entomb for free. Which is very exciting. As I say, Breach back here because of the Enlightened Tutor D pointing down to 0. That's a deck that really likes that. So there's a couple different variations in the room.
How many Breach decks are there today?
I think two. I believe.
Oh, Tom does not seem particularly afeared of this Oath of Druids.
No, he's really just not scared. That's a nice Baleful Strix.
Running as fast as possible.
We saw a 1-mana spell played and then Baleful Strix. So double spelling as Ledger Shredder likes. You do have to try and pressure. And there goes Days. We've decided that this game has gone long enough.
Don't need a daze. Drawing a card off the Baleful Strix.
Yep.
A lot of birds.
A lot of bird tribal, in fact.
A lot of birds. What's like we could put Wan Shi Tong down next.
Yep. Nadu's a bird.
Not
probably
get-
not in this deck.
Not.
but
I was gonna say not. Surely not in Esper.
when Legend Shredder first came out, I distinctly remember playing it a lot in Phoenix, Arclight Phoenix.
Oh.
The deck was just 4 Legend Shredders, 4 Arclight Phoenixes, and a bunch of spells.
Yeah.
And I remember jokingly calling the deck Bird Tribal.
Bird. Yep.
Was this a show and tell? 3 mana? Or is this an
Ooh.
end step? End step Rakshas's Bargain. Oh,
Awesome.
love this card.
I remember talking to Ben Tudman.
And how he was hoping that this card was going to be really, really good. Because on its face, it seems perfectly fine.
It is quite fair, and it asks a decent amount of your mana, but it does feel sweet.
Yeah.
And binning Force of Negation is a little bit scary.
Show of power.
Yeah.
I don't need to worry about your counter spells.
I'm going to start with a Fatal Push.
Push
Try
the
and-
bird.
Yep, push the bird, which you wouldn't think pushing a bird off a building would kill it. I'm
Yeah.
just going to say, that doesn't...
Maybe it's like when you put a bird into a it's like when a bird flies into a glass window.
You're pushing the bird very hard into the window, yeah.
Or just like when it flies in.
And now we see more powerful standard legal card advantage.
Okay, now Maya and I were just talking about how there's a world in which stock up gets outclassed by flow state, which is coming in
Well,
Secrets of Strixhaven.
Rakshas's Bargain doesn't see any standard play,
Yeah.
even though it's legal, because it's outclassed by Stock Up and by Consult the Star Charts and
Mhm.
potentially Flow State. It's kind of wild. Flow State does ask a lot of you. This is a new card from Strixhaven, as we see Graham's just resolving a Stock Up, I believe?
Yeah.
Or was there a spell?
There
piece
was
there?
a
I can't tell what card is in Tom's graveyard. But that's all right. Yeah, Flow State, one of the new cards from the upcoming Strixhaven set, which comes out in a couple weeks. Pre-release is
Next week.
next weekend.
Yep. Release is next week.
This is the most words they've ever put on a card that is like kind of just divination.
This is what Maya was saying. And she was like,
Like-
this is just divination, but there's so many words
It took
on
8 lines of text with no paragraph breaks or anything. Again, the short is it's sorcery speed anticipate, and if you have an instant sorcerer in your graveyard, you get to take 2 of them instead.
Uh-huh.
Which takes no time to explain, but it turns out writing it out takes forever.
Yeah.
Inquisition of Kozilek going to get Force of Willed, and there is Consult the Star Charts. +1 standard legal.
Wow. I mean, it's +3. Rakshas's Bargain.
Well, yeah, I mean,
stock
like,
up.
on top of the
okay,
other
okay,
two,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
We're up to 3 plus the Surveil lands,
3 plus surveillance.
if we're counting the 3 Surveil lands.
Force pitching Consult the Star Charts as well. Another terrifying thing. Like already, like having surveilled the Force of Negation, stressful. And then
Yep.
Force pitching Consult, which is like just great card advantage in the late game. Just a scary position to be in.
Has already resolved 2 different card advantage spells, so possibly just said, you know what, I don't need
I don't need.
another divination.
What am I? A Blue Moon deck? I don't.
Mystic Sanctuary here, looking really sweet.
Ugh.
I love that this card is 0 points now.
Mystic Sanctuary putting Inquisition of Kozilek on top.
And then immediately sacrificing the Relic of Progenitus to draw the Inquisition, and now we're going to fire it off again, while
Yeah.
Graham is mostly tapped out. Thoughtseize, Spell Snare, Oath of Druids,
Mhm.
Leyline Binding, Prismatic Ending. That is a
That's a
stacked
hand. When it feels very much like
Well, we're gonna take the Oath of Druids. I
take
bet.
oath.
Pretty hard to do anything else with this hand.
Yeah.
And I don't think Graham has a way to get that back now. I believe. I think once it's gone, it's gone.
It's a bit unfortunate.
It does make it much harder for Graham to win the game. And you can see what Graham was setting up here. He said he casts his spells, his card draw spells, and he set up, I have Force of Will, I'm going to untap and cast Thoughtseize, and I have Spell Snare for like literal counterspell as
Yeah.
well.
Actual
I
factual.
have so many
counterspell.
ways to force through this Oath this coming turn. There's not very much pressure in play. Like, Baleful Strix is really awkward, actually,
Mhm.
for Tom. So I'm going to get to resolve my Oath, almost certain. And now, instead, we have to just pass back. No proactivity, a bunch of removal and interaction. Really clever play here, sort of heads up play from Graham to hold that Thoughtseize and say, I know that this will be more important when I'm trying to force through a threat from my side. There's no point just firing it off now to randomly interact with something.
Yeah.
Oof. Hardcast Overlord of the Bailmer.
Ruh-roh raggy.
I mean, this is the power
Plus
of...
one standard card.
Yeah. This is the power of Overlords, but just flexible cards in general. Overlord of the Bailmer is mostly in the deck as a 2-mana card.
Yeah. Looks like a whiff on the Overlord as well.
Yeah, having just exiled the graveyard with Relic, not that much left. And we're going to... Oh.
Leyline Binding on the Overlord. Ephemerate.
That's upsetting.
Spell Pierce.
Oh, Spell Pierce is the drawn card from the one draw for turn there.
Wowee.
It's like that. The only card Tom didn't know about, in fact. And now we're Thoughtseizing, which says to me this. Okay, we're just going to take the last card. Didn't see what that was.
It's a mystery.
And pass back. Interesting. So it didn't actually have anything proactive to do, but just said, I think you're about to empty your hand. You only have one card left. I'm just going to get this Thoughtseize off while I can.
Not unreasonable to think as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You just got to fire it off. That Ephemerate play would have been backbreaking, though, on Overlord.
Yeah. Getting to have that back in would just be exactly not where Graham wants to be.
I do enjoy the continued refusal to use this prismatic ending. It's like, I'm not dealing with your Baleful Streaks. It's fine. You can keep that one in play. Emperor of Bones. That will meet the spell snare that we knew about.
Spell snare, tap, pass back. One thing about these two players is that they are seasoned and efficient.
Yeah, both of these players, well, not necessarily have played a lot with these decks. Both of these players have played a lot of different decks, but they played a lot of Magic. They understand what's going on, which is we're both waiting to see who draws a good card first, basically.
Yeah. And Graham will wait until the exact moment where Baleful Strix is too much of a problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting there.
Yeah.
It has attacked 5 or 6 times now. But also, the longer you can wait, you really don't want to spend a removal spell on Baleful Strix.
Yeah.
Especially, unless this will be Enlightened Tutor. And step Enlightened Tutor. Oh boy.
And I'm trying to see what's in Tom's hand, but there's no answer. Yeah.
I can't see what the other card is. Flicking is a couple different cards. But clearly, no counterspell.
Yeah.
I was just so pointing the enchantments going, oh, there are quite a number of targets. What are you getting now, though?
Yeah.
With these two gone.
What is there to grab?
Oh, also, I was wrong. There is an Auroral Procession, so there is a way to get back that oath.
Oh.
We're going to get Pernicious Deed. That's an old one.
Okay. What does Pernicious Deed do?
Oh, my sweet summer child. I like how I say that like I ever played against this card when it was standard legal. I've just played against this card in cubes. This is an old one. So this is like a sweeper, but it's an enchantment, which matters with a couple of things. Matters with Enlightened Tutor also means you can get it off of Traxxas more easily.
Yeah.
So we're going to put that in play, and at some point we can blow it up.
Very good.
Meanwhile, the Baleful Strix continues to chip in.
Yeah. Would you prefer to use something like this Pernicious Deed on the Baleful Strix as opposed to the Prismatic Ending?
Yes, because Prismatic Ending can deal with something like a Ketchumose, for example.
Yeah.
Ketchumose turned on now as well. Heaps of cards in exile from both players after the Relic of Brigandus. We're going to see a Duress. That's really good. So you have to think, Tom has cards in hand, decided to play the Ketchumose this turn. You have to ask yourself why, and the answer is probably he has some form of interaction.
So there's a Palace Jailer, a Tameo, and it looked like a Force went into the bin.
Yeah, so there it is, and that's what the Duress is for. So that's a really heads-up play from Graham, and now gets a Prismatic Ending away the Ketchumose. Tom pointing to the Baleful Strix to say like, oh yeah, do you want Prismatic Ending this one?
Do you want to get rid of the little bird? The bird?
4. And we're going to cast the Palace Jailer. This is really powerful against Oath. Mm-hmm. Oath is not very good at getting the Monarch back. So this is really just Personal Howling Mind that's going to be really, really hard. And this is the joy of Palace Jailer. It's kind of a removal spell, but it's also just, against control decks, it is one-sided Howling Mind. They're not good at getting it back.
They're not going to be able to ever get it back. Well, look, and if the oath was in the bin, maybe yes. And we're going to Pernicious Deed and get rid of the jailer and the bird, and then we will Thoughtseize.
Yep. And take Emrakul, which will
Emrakul.
get shuffled back in.
Wow.
And it might seem like that's a nothing card, but it is actually relevant because there's also Show and Tell in this deck.
Yeah.
So that could come up where the Emrakul in hand, not castable, there literally aren't 15 mana reducing lands in the deck, but could still be put in play.
Mm-hmm. I do love that little factoid. There's not even 15 lands. You will not be able to cast this card.
No, I mean, this is the joy of the fetch land mana bases. There frequently are only, 7, 8, 9 lands that actually produce mana in the deck. We see this even more so in formats where you can play more than 10 fetch lands.
Mm-hmm.
Moon Shadow. This is a relatively new card. I say relatively. It feels like a new card, even though it's not even from the most recent set. We've had a whole nother set since.
I like to think it's from the most recent set.
Yeah.
There are some cards that I don't think exist and aren't real. They're not real and they can't hurt me.
Well, just you wait. We'll see if we see TMNT cards today. They are
Flip
very
the
rare.
Tameo.
I love flipping Tameo with a Monarch draw at the end of turn. That's
Yeah.
really nice. You then don't get to activate your Tameo.
Very annoying.
Okay, so now the pressure is really on Graham.
What are the kind of outs in this instance?
Shooter's Edict's pretty
Ooh.
nice.
You choose Planeswalker as well.
Yeah, cleanly answer the Tameo if we want.
Unless there's a counter spell?
Possibly. Orcish
Bowmasters.
Bowmasters.
Yep, and
Will
Graham
end
says
the game.
that's okay.
So Graham then probably did choose Planeswalker.
Yeah.
And Tom just said, okay, well, I'm going to play this Bowmasters, ping you down to 3, and then attack you for 3.
Which is a
Before
fair enough play. Well, let's look at sideboards.
Absolutely. So starting with the Oath sideboard.
Hooray!
What do we got?
Oh boy. Carpet of Flowers. I love Carpet of Flowers.
That is a pretty good one against blue decks. What else we got here? Consigned to Memory potentially. Probably not, actually.
You could
Mistrise
consign-
Village
yeah.
probably comes in.
Yeah.
Is one of the answers. Just it's a way to just force through counterspells in these
Veil of
games that go
Summer?
long. Veil of Summer for sure. Shieldred maybe, but probably not. Rest in Peace is interesting against the Esper decks. They do tend to use the graveyard, but also there's a Catchmos, so
Yeah.
What else? Potentially Forbidden Orchard. That'll be for control decks. That's a way of giving your opponents
Oh.
characters.
See, I am familiar with Forbidden Orchard pretty much like exclusively via the commander pathway.
Yeah, where
as
it's just like the
it's a
1/1 doesn't
5 color
matter.
land. Yeah.
No. Because it's an uncounterable way of giving your opponent a creature.
Ah.
And it's an uncounterable way of giving your opponent a creature on turn 2 as you play Oath of Druids.
Yeah. See, in Commander, people just use it as another 5 color mana source or whatever.
Yeah.
And they go like, I don't care about giving my opponent 1/1
So
spirits. But
this is the other format where Oath gets played is Vintage, where it's a whole archetype because you get to play 4 of them and you also get like the Demonic Tutor and stuff. And those decks will often play multiple Forbidden Orchards because Vintage decks are light on creatures. But this is like an uncounterable way for you to do
I
that.
will force you to have a creature.
Yeah, have a
There is
creature on me.
On me, just for free. Hey,
Just for free.
I've been thinking of you.
Look at this gift.
Well, then looking at Esper sideboards.
The Esper sideboard. And Esper sideboards can be pretty variable. It's just there's a lot of cards you can put in an Esper deck, turns out. Archon of Emeria is maybe interesting in the back and forths here. Interestingly, because you're Esper, you don't get red elemental blasts. Opposition Agent is interesting.
I love Opposition Agent.
Duress and Flusterstorm for a bit more interaction.
Voice of Victory to prevent interaction.
Yeah, that one's really annoying. And Vanishing Verse is another answer to Oath itself. So that might be interesting. Just a couple options. Not heaps, but a couple options.
Was Vanishing Verse printed in Strixhaven the first time around?
It was.
Oh.
It was.
I don't think we should get it back, but I wonder.
It's kind of neat.
Hey, that's pretty neat.
It just answers a lot of things. I have played it in Highlander before because it answers a lot of Planeswalkers as well as a lot of your things like carpet and choke and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So I actually probably will come in for that reason. A sort of flexible card, and it answers most of the premier threats in the format. Most. There are some exceptions, but a lot of, your Tamios and your Barraglyphs and that kind of thing, it gets. And 2 mana is not great, but it's not terrible.
Is there anything you're particularly excited for in Secrets of Strixhaven?
I like Strixhaven as a plane. I think it's really cool. So I like looking at the cards because multiple of the guilds, the houses, what are they called? Schools. Wait, why are they schools? Isn't Strixhaven a school? Isn't it a whole school?
It's like campuses within the school.
Okay. Oh, so yeah, I see what you mean. It's like how universities have the School of Arts or the School of Medicine or whatever. Yeah, okay, I see what you mean.
It's like individual campi. Campuses.
Campi?
Sorry.
I don't think that's campi.
I have an English degree. I say it's real.
So I like the whole vibe of that. I recently rediscovered, this is a card that got spoiled months ago actually. It was like the first card spoiled.
Oh,
Mathemagics.
Love Mathemagics. The X squared spell.
Yeah.
No, the 2 to the power of
2 to the X. Target player draws 2 to the X. And the reason I love it is because I realized the other week it says target player.
Yeah, you can.
So it's a really cool draw spell, and then you get to 12, 14 mana and just point it at your opponent.
Well, I was going to say, I wonder if there's a world in which you can create a turbo ramp deck.
Oh.
And you can just, because all you have, I think in a 60 card format, it only needs to be.
So 12 mana draws 32. X is 5, 12 mana draws 32 cards. Yeah. That will often win the game.
Yeah.
But if you ever get to 14, let's draw 64. That always wins the game. And
then they draw from an empty library. And
yeah. So that always wins the game. But also at 8 mana, the thing that is exciting, right? So I saw this card, I was like, that's cool. Maybe we can do something, but it's probably not good. And then they spoiled Resonating Loot. I don't know if you've seen this card.
Oh, geez.
But anything that doubles your mana gets me interested.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to get to 14 mana when all your lands tap for 2 mana.
Yeah, that's actually so true.
So I will be doing nonsense with this card with no creatures in my deck.
Mistrise Village as well.
Yeah. For the control matchups, you can bring in a Mistrise Village. Although that one's really awkward because it takes 2 lands to do that. And you don't get the doubled mana. But
all right.
I also love that this card says draw a card only if you have 7 or more cards in hand. Real rich get richer,
Yeah.
The thing is, library is a busted card, but not when it costs 4 mana. And there is the Mistrise Village. Speaking of, as Tom has to read that, +1 standard card. Hallowed Fountain also a standard card, and Water Grave now.
I feel like it's not fair to count lands though.
Yeah, that's valid.
Not
well, Mistrise Village.
Mistrise Village is +1.
Fetches and Surveils are debatable.
No. Mana base is a little bit too, but when you get into the, if someone if Esper started playing Restless Anchorage, +1 standard card.
Yeah, that would definitely count.
You should definitely get an extra point if you play a Restless Anchorage in your mana base. That's criminal.
That would be a crazy rule because you'd get all random decks just playing as a colorless tap land, I think. This Mistrise Village really sets the tenor for this game because it's really saying to Tom, hey, no. Your counter spells not going to work so well.
It's not Shack, but it's there's a series of commercials in the States that were done with a very famous NBA basketball player.
Yes.
And it's people this woman's at a laundromat and she throws her laundry into the thing and he smacks it out of the way in basketball.
Yeah.
And he goes, not in my house.
Yeah, okay. That'll be a Dikembe Mutombo.
Yeah.
And I can tell that because you did the finger wiggle, which our audience cannot see, but Kira just did
not in my house.
The Dikembe.
That is what Mistrise Village is, and we've seen a little bit of a back and forth.
Veil of Summer.
Git Probe Veil. Looks like a Git Probe Veil of Summer, which feels very much like I have Oath of Druids in my hand.
Well,
wait, no.
It does, yeah. In response to the Git Probe.
Oh. Teferi.
Oh my god. Spell Pierce. So this is a brutal opening from Graham. Just neatly says, cool, I'm going to put pressure on you to make my spells uncounterable, and then I'm going to counter your Git Probe, and then I'm going to counter your Teferi. And draw a card if you don't mind. But then no follow-up.
I feel like that's a bit... Oh, and there's a Force of Negation in hand for Tom.
Yeah, I mean, could just see Graham waiting a bit longer. The other thing is, there's no point putting Oath in play if your opponent doesn't have creatures, which is why you see the Forbidden Orchard. Because even if Graham used Mistrise Village to make his Oath uncounterable, cast Oath, put it in play, then all that would happen is Tom would just say, okay, well, I'm not going to put a creature in play until I find my Leyline Binding.
Days.
Uncounterable hardcast Days. You ever seen a 4-mana Force Spike?
That's insane. That's huge aura. Hey, watch this, and then we're gonna get the veil and put it back on top with Mystic Sanctuary. This feels like Graham is like in his pace right now.
Yeah,
this
he's
is
just
like walking the stride, hitting every single.
Kaido's really nice against Oath of Druids. Actually, that's really sick.
Region. If there's another counter spell in hand for this.
Kaido is kind of sweet against Oath of Druids because it's not a creature on your opponent's turn, so it's not a trees. I sort of thought maybe we would see a hardcast Kaido there.
Okay.
But instead...
So we have a 7/7 Murktide.
Yep. And this is Tom basically saying, I don't think you have Oath right now because you would have played it by now. We're thinking about putting the frog in play, I think. Yeah, we're just saying, I don't think you have it. And I think I can kill you before you draw it because... Look at my board, right? It's a 7/7 dragon. Shieldred's hard, and again we're seeing Mistrise Village be used. Uncountable Shieldred's Edict. That's really interesting.
Sacrifice. Why would you sacrifice the Murktide over?
So this will be in response to the frog. The frog will be on the stack.
Sure.
And Graham says, okay. "I'm not going to give you the choice. I'm just going to do it now."
Yeah. Okay. I was about to say, in what world?
What's really interesting, the frog does draw cards, and it can get pretty big pretty fast. But I would tend to lean on the 7/7 Murktide region, and I suspect. As a result, Graham just didn't give Tom the choice. Yeah. In comes the frog.
Draw a card. There is a stock. I think there's a stock up. There's a Kaito, a stock up.
Yep. A Force and a prismatic. It's a prismatic.
Prismatic ending. Okay.
So this is what I was talking about with the Oath, where you don't necessarily want to play it because something like prismatic ending does punish you.
Oh boy.
Hardcast Kaido. Uncounterable. Force of negation.
Hard cast Force of negation.
5 mana.
Graham says, I would like to pay full price for everything.
Graham says all my spells cost 2 more mana, but they never get encountered.
Yeah. I was going to say as well, Frog.
Yeah, so now we see stock up, force negation, prismatic ending.
To me, it looked like the little faces that have the little bulbs of light in them for deafening silence.
Oh, yes. Yes, the screaming. Yeah. Upsetting.
Next month, I'm buying us a better camera. We will have 4K.
I don't think it'll make a difference.
No, I believe.
This screen is only so big. It definitely won't make a difference to the viewers. Bless you. The screaming is...
I thought...
this is they're
facing the wrong way, though, I realize.
Yes.
Prismatic ending on the frog.
Yep.
Well, and I suppose this is a good way for Graham to say you can pitch your stock up to the Force if you want to save the frog. And kind of...
Well, not with the Veil of Summer there.
Oh, sorry, not with the Veil. This is true.
Yeah. Stock up is going to resolve the thing, it seems like.
Ooh.
So no more counterspells from Graham. This is a big deal. This is a lot.
Well, look, sometimes when I'm playing stock up in my moon stack when I'm faced with the opportunity to counter someone's stock up, sometimes my decision becomes, I'd actually rather counter what they take. Depending on the situation.
My concern is always that they take 2 things that are good. And then what do you do?
Hey, as long as you have 2 counterspells, you're fine, right?
Yeah, but if you had 2 counterspells, you could just counter the first spell and then not have to spend your second counterspell.
It's true. No one said I'm playing this correctly. That's just what I do.
I mean, I'm also in the booth, so... Tamio comes down.
Reading Veil of Summer really quickly.
It does have a lot of words on it. 1 mana cryptic command.
I like Veil of Summer. They're reprinting Veil of Summer in the Mystical Archives for Strixhaven.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to say in standard.
No,
I was like, please no.
I mean, you know what, though? In an Is It, heavy metagame, I don't hate it, but I do hate it. It's bad.
That card is miserable. I mean, it's actually probably not as good in standard as it is in Eternal formats that are full of counterspells and discard spells. There aren't that many of them, but there are enough.
There are enough that it's annoying.
There is the Vanishing Verse that we talked about.
Ooh.
Brainstorm as well I saw in there, and I think there was another blue card. Notably, this is a card drawn for Tamio. So if we get to attack and then crack the clue, we can flip the Tamio. which it looks like it is going to happen. And a Palace Trailer as well. You could also
So-
just jam Palace Trailer.
Brainstorm pick a top from the Ponder.
Clue token made. And we are...
Clinging? There was a Cling to Dust that got exiled, it looked like.
I think we cast Cling to Dust on that land, and we've accidentally put the Cling in the exile.
In the exile.
Because we tapped a single mana, and
We'll double check and make
I
sure. we
believe
pick it
that's
in
what
the
just
right
happened.
spot.
I think that Cling should be in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Cling does not exile itself. It would be much worse. But either way, the Tameo flips ticks up, and once again, real pressure on Graham with these sticky permanents. But all he can do is draw and pass back. And now this is tricky because there's a threat in play with this Tameo that's going to keep ticking up. It's hard to answer. We saw the Prismatic Ending already get used, and you know there's a counterspell over there. So even though you have Veil of Summer, you have Mistrized Village, it is all just threatening, right? It's all making it harder and harder. I see Brainstorm. There's a Daze in that pile. Force of Negation still in hand. A Voice of Victory, I think that is.
Yep. There's a Wanshitong as well, I believe, that I saw.
Yep.
That's a nice bird.
It's crazy. All the cards in Esper are really good.
They just keep printing really good blue cards. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Well, and other colors too, but that's sort of the joy of these 3-color mid-range decks, is you just get to play a pile of all the most powerful, generically good cards. And a pass back. Still has that clue, doesn't want to tap mana. Just no need to give Graham any window at all to do anything.
Yeah. And not as though Graham won't take his opportunity when he wants with a Mistrized Village, but forces him to be like, no, tax.
Teferi.
Teferi. There is a Force of Negation.
This is really interesting because you know the Veil of Summer is there, so it's kind of like...
Do you force like an expenditure of the Veil now? Or
the Force is completely dead afterwards.
Yeah.
So... But you could also spend that mana just cracking a clue instead, you know? You see a fetch. The other thing is we might see Wanshitong.
Sure.
Just to put a threat in play that the Teferi has to bounce. Although it won't draw a card yet at 3 mana, so might just be hard casting Force here. No, it is Wanshitong. Wanshitong for just 2 mana, so just putting a 1/1 in play. Kind of forcing the Teferi to bounce it. And then
flashing in Felia.
So 2 threats.
Is this just as I'd like to pressure your Teferi?
Yeah, basically it's saying if you plus the Teferi, I get to attack it for 3. If you bounce the Teferi, my other creature gets to attack it down. Which is all we're going to see. We'll see the Felia bounced, but now the Wanshitong gets to attack. And again, this is just continuing to put pressure on with interaction. The flip side of that is Graham knows... Well, never mind. I was going to say Graham knows he has half a turn free here, but nothing to do with it. Just has to pass back. The Wanshitong will probably take out the Teferi here. Tameo continues to tick up. There's a Voice of Victory in hand, which is a really nice one.
I think that's going to come down as well.
Yep.
Voice of Victory comes down. Graham now unable to interact on Tom's turn.
Yep. We love this passive.
It's so insane they printed this card.
Oh, we're going to respond with Vampiric Tutor. That's a pretty good one. And with Teferi still in play, nothing that Tom can do about this. So now we might see Oath. One of the things about Oath is that you have to put it in play and then get to your next upkeep before it does anything.
Yeah.
So if there's enough pressure in play, it won't do anything.
Now the Emrakul that Graham has, is that the gain control of...
No.
No?
That is
take an extra turn.
That is original Emrakul. It is take an extra turn, but only when you cast it.
Right, okay. So you won't get that.
You will not get that. You just get a 15/15 that's really hard to kill. And has
with Annihilator 6. Oh, sure.
But you don't get the extra turn. You're not casting it.
Bummer.
Yeah, really a shame. But Graham has to kind of think, because if he gets Oath and he draws that next turn, the Tamio takes up to 8 this turn, and then it gets the ultimate next turn.
Yep.
So you kind of need more pressure. Like that Oath might be too slow now. Because you have to think if Tom gets to draw half his deck, he'll probably have an answer to
Everything.
Oath. Okay, so we're going to see the tutor. We're going to see draw a card with something. Oh, we're seeing draw a card with the Tamio after the fetch, after the search with Vampiric Tutor. Sorry, draw a card with one Cheetong. That card has more lines of text.
It does many things.
We're going to see, so this is with the Taveri still in play, Veil of Summer to not draw a card, because no blue spell or black spell has been cast, I don't believe. So that's just going to resolve. Possibly a slight misstep there from Graham. Not sure if that's what he really wanted. I think the idea there was the Veil would draw a card, so you can draw the card you Vampiric Tutored for, and then you can try and draw something else, an interactive spell.
Makes sense.
One Cheetong will attack down to Fairy. When she's gonna pass back, we're activating Mistrise Village, it seems. Mistrise Village, uncounterable show and tell. That's pretty good.
Oh dear.
Again, it's a symmetrical card, so it's totally fair.
It's totally fair.
I'll do it. Yeah.
It's totally fair. Graham says, "Here's my Emrakul." Even if Tom gets a Palace Jailer, and that's not good enough, unfortunately. Nope. So we're off to game.
No.
That's nothing.
That is.
Oh, that's concession.
That is Graham conceding. The way this works.
Please tell me.
So Emrakul has protection. Emrakul has protection from spells of all colors. The Palace Jailer it's a triggered ability.
It's a triggered ability.
It's a spell, so you can exile it. And Graham just backed it up and said, "Okay, well."
Fair enough.
That means you get to ultimate this cameo, and I'm dead.
Because the order of show and tell always confuses me. Like the order in which these resolve, and we saw this a bunch at the last event as well, when the show and tell was constantly, oh yeah, I'm going to show and tell, my really big thing, and the other opponent does like a leyline binding.
Yep.
And so it's like your thing comes in, and then the leyline binding.
Well, they come in at the same time, and you both they both come in, and then you both put your triggers on the stack. So it works out that way. Either way.
Oh, wow.
Cliff taking both games there.
Esper remains good.
Yes. Pile of good cards, still good. Pile of the best threats, the best interaction. Pretty good in the format. He's 1-0. Graham 0-1, but we've got 6 rounds here today. 41 players, I believe.
41 players, 6 rounds, 5 more rounds now before our cut to top 8. We'll be back soon for round 2.